this computer. Hello, everybody. I'm Heather McManus, founder of Collaborate to Win, and I'm so excited to be joined today by the beautiful and wonderful Sandra Funk. And we are going to discuss her new program for interior designers called the Interior Design Standard. I love this so much. Welcome, Sandra.
Thank you so much, Heather, for having me. I'm so thrilled to be here. Thank you, everybody.
So I love the fact that you call it the standard because there hasn't been one, right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah. And we'll, so I did some research and I have some questions, so I will reflect back to this piece of paper that I've scribbled notes on. So I love the fact that you want to have people in this industry have this particular standard and run a business that's efficient and joyful. And that word joyful, I underlined because there's a lot of not fun stuff in this business, and it could be so much easier if you had good systems in place and, you know, a run through of it before. So I'm like, love that word. That's so awesome.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I think the, our play on words of the Interior Design Standard, a new standard for the business of interior design, was very important to us because I come from business process consulting and a finance degree. And when I came into this industry, I think I was surprised by how different everyone does it, right? And I worked for different people over the years as I was kind of getting to know the industry, and it was one model and then another model, and I kind of saw what worked, what really, really didn't work, what were some good practices. And then, of course, I've been in business for, I think we're going on 15 years in November.
Nice.
Crazy. And it has been my trial and error that is really what I bring to the table. And it is, at the end of the day, it was like, how many times am I going to pound my head against the brick wall, you know, learning the lesson and implementing it, and then having it just benefit my little firm, right? My little slice of the pie. And I think just like you've done, you saw a really big hole or a really big blip, a really big missing component in our industry, and you filled it. And I think we have incredible synergies in that I absolutely love what you've done for our industry as well.
Thank you.
So much of that exact same kind of thing, right?
Right.
That it's the Wild West. Everybody makes their own little deals, and it's this whole, it's just really a lack of standards. And so I think we come at it from similar pro designer, you know, let's band together and help each other. And that's 100% what the standard.
And I love what you say about all boats rise, you know, and we lift each other up. And that's absolutely my philosophy. I totally believe in abundance too. And it's tough, you know, so if we help each other out, it just gets so much easier. So enrollment is starting soon, September 16th through September 28th, which is kind of a short time to get enrolled.
Yes.
So
it's
tell me about
stint.
Yeah, tell me about that. So you enroll people and then you run your program, and when that's over, you know, you've got all that learning. So tell me about how much can people look back on the program and what you teach, and how long does it run?
Sure. So enrollment is a short little September 16th to the 28th. And that's really because we are all hands on deck. We are, you know, taking phone calls and responding to emails, and we're really just getting everyone that's been interested in the standard for the last 6 months signed up and ready to go. So, you know, I'm also running a design firm where we have clients and we have things going on. So that's a big part of why enrollment is so tight.
I get it. Many hats. Yes.
And every designer does. And so for us, kind of having, you know, the people that are committed and are waiting for us to open are ready to roll. They're going to sign up. It's great. We didn't feel like we needed like a month to convince anyone because we're in that mode of we've been talking a lot to the industry. We've got
Mhm.
an amazing first group of designers that went through the program and just love it. And so they're
Mhm.
kind of our own little advocates for it. And so we didn't feel we need to be open for a huge long time and take our focus away from our main, bread and butter, which is our day in and day out clients.
Yeah, no, I get
Um,
that. Yeah. So
Totally.
how long does the program run?
Yep. So the program, we went back and forth on this. We give all of the content immediately because we
Oh,
know some
interesting. Okay.
people, yep, we know some people are going to be batch learners where they're going to want to just block out a long weekend and bang through it all. And we were shocked at how quickly some designers went through the program.
Wow.
And other people are going to do it very, one module at a time, implement, very slowly over time. So we made it possible to kind of flow with however it is that you work best.
Right.
And also it's lifetime access.
Oh,
So
wow.
it
That's
never,
wonderful.
yeah, it never goes away.
I
And
like
what
that.
that means
Yeah.
as well is every single year as we improve and we iterate and we do something better, we are always going to be giving you the latest and greatest with each new launch.
I
So it
love
takes
that
it and
because this
brings,
industry is still changing.
it's always changing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's always going to be changing.
Mhm.
Um, look at what we're doing right now, right? We would have been sitting with our heels bouncing on some little high bar stools chatting at some event, but here we are
Mhm.
on a Zoom and it's
Mhm.
become our norm.
Yeah.
And so we have to evolve too, right?
Mhm. Okay,
Always.
awesome. Thank you for clearing that one up.
Yep.
All right, so a couple more.
Mhm.
Um, did you ever hire a coach?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay, so I have incredible mentors and I have an incredible coach, and it's all about mindset for me.
Mhm.
So my coach is really the person who helps me, kind of think tank really specific situations that are one-off that aren't, a benchmark against an industry standard, for instance, but also mindset, mindset, mindset. So to stay in this abundance mindset, to step into your worth, to be able to stand in your space. One of my favorite things to talk about is, if you set up your business, what works best for you, right? And you set your design fees, what works best for you, and then you invite a client to join you with by working with you. All right. And then you shut your mouth, right? You stand
Mhm.
in your space and they can
Mhm.
either play with you in your sandbox, or they can keep on walking and go find somebody else who's got a set of swings that they like better. But you do not need to change your business model. You do not need to change your fee structure. You do not need to change anything about how you do what you do to fit someone else's model of the world. Once you feel really confident and comfortable in your business and you're real clear, my kind of whole concept is, and then you be firm about that.
Mhm.
And that's where that joy comes from.
Yeah.
If you don't love,
Because when you can say no and not like fret over it and lose sleep or whatever, yeah, then you're like, no, of course not, and we're moving on, and that whole idea is dropped.
yep, thank you, next.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. No, I've worked with many coaches, and the price tag, I think, shocks a lot of people who have never, even thought about it before. But the amount of unbelievable knowledge and like, whoa, I would have never thought of it that way before. It opens so many doors, and that mindset is enormous.
Well, and just like Collaborate to Win,
Hmm.
I always envision it. It's like taking a catapult and just leaping forward in your career.
Right.
You can struggle along and struggle along and struggle along, or you can pick up the Collaborate to Win as a group, or you can pick up the standard, or you can work with a mindset coach. All of those things are going to put you years ahead of what it would take to go through every one of those issues, learn that lesson individually, build up the amount, of sales to open your own accounts, or try it this way and that way and this way and that way, and finally figure out the most efficient method, so like
Bang your
all of
head
those.
against the wall and struggle for a long time and maybe eventually get there, or just have it done. Yeah, easy. It's like hire the accountant for that part of your business. Hire the interior designer when you want your house done right. Hire the coach when you need the systems to make this happen.
Exactly.
Collaborate to win when you need product and profit, both.
Yes, exactly. Right. We like both.
Yes, yes, I like both. Um,
Indeed.
so your modules, there are 7 of them. And so you can go and do them however, at whatever pace you want. I love that because everyone learns differently, and you may have some burning need this week and then something else next week. So I really like that. And then, you can skip ahead and go back. Just so great. So tell me more about module 6, because that's your product process. So what are
Exactly.
your thoughts?
Yes. So our module 6 is vendors and trades. And so that's where Collaborate to Win is a superstar, right? It's all about setting up for success, which in our method is, really looking to get the deepest discount possible and to buy at the best advantage for your business, to charge our clients a reasonable retail price. So the price stays the same, and the difference between what your client's always going to buy it at reasonable retail, right? And you might get this like little teeny weeny 20% discount when you're a newbie designer, and then you might open an account and get a little bit better discount, et cetera, right? So we're going to work on deepening those margins, deepening our profits without changing our price client facing whatsoever. And so that's where obviously you have chosen to share, right? You've chosen that abundance mentality. You've chosen to band together and to share that with other designers. And it is a humongous education you are giving them. Even just from the list of vendors is an education.
Oh, yeah.
That alone is worth its weight in gold.
Yeah.
And then to give access as you have for, not being punished because you're new to this industry. And
Right. Or you don't
totally
have, the 2% clients that, the multi-million-dollar client, doesn't come around to hardly any designers. So it's just so difficult. Yeah. For me, it was, if I'm struggling this much and I'm having such a hard time and I'm fully aware, educated, and like dedicated to this one thing, everyone else must be. So it just became the no-brainer for me to open it up to other people, and it's been amazing. So
Yep.
yeah.
Well, it's a humongous important point in the standard because it's the profitability, right?
Yeah, right.
And so we even go through and we show a spreadsheet and we show them, if you're only getting 35% markup, here's what your profitability looks like without changing anything.
Right.
Client facing. Your client is not getting charged more money. You're not working more hours. If you can get those deeper discounts, your profitability goes up.
Amen.
No additional work, no additional price to the employee, it's a win-win for everyone. And then you're into these amazing brands and these amazing products.
Right.
So,
because then you have the creative side of it is but I want that lamp from this company, and I want the chair from that company, and the sofa from this other company. And if you can't, or they, sometimes they won't let you, and sometimes it's just really difficult to even open those accounts to access that, period. And then there's the profitability. So yeah. Okay. So I love that you're educating people on that, because I do find that most people still don't understand the pricing and how there are so many different layers to it. And it's that one change that can make a huge difference.
Huge difference. Yeah. It's a point we definitely don't, it doesn't land softly. It's a very big part of profitability and all of that in our businesses. And it's really important.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely.
So then my next question is, who should sign up for this? Is this for the newbie? Is this for someone who's been around for a while? And what do you see people getting from it?
I love this question so much because so our ideal client avatar, when we built this, right? When we kind of said, who are we speaking to? We are speaking to a designer who's about 5 years in business, right? So they know enough to know what they don't know. They know they need better systems. They're probably looking to hire that first employee or have a few employees already. That's who we were talking to when we built this, right? If I had had this when I was 5 years in business, where I'd be now, right?
Right.
Then when we launched and our initial group of people, our average years in business is 11. So
Wow.
we turned
So people are
into
really suffering for much longer than they should be.
all the way through. So we
Oh.
have from brand new newbies
Mm-hmm.
who are really intelligent women who are changing industries, coming into design, and know they want that catapult from the beginning. And they went out there and they did their research and they found the standard, which is, thank you. And then we have all the way to a 30-year veteran who says, I want to be able to see this company survive, be a legacy. I want to put systems in place that can, continue on. It's all in my head and it has been
Yeah.
for 40 years. It's time to get some things written down. And
Right.
I don't have time to write them down.
Oh, I
So
love that.
let me do this shortcut.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah.
And how fun for
So-
you to see all these different businesses and where they're at and who's struggling with what and why.
Yes. Well, and then it becomes a mastermind, of course, right?
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, there's a community there that's all going through it together. But there's a group that is in this part of the country or a group that does this specific kind of design. And so that starts to become this wonderful community, which
Mhm.
is just extra. And I
Awesome.
know you have the same thing with Collaborate
Yeah.
to Win. Just
Our
some
community is,
private-
I mean, it's some of the reason that people rejoin because, not everyone is ready for, the whole house of furniture. Maybe they're just doing a lamp or two or a rug or something and they don't have the clients yet, but they're loving the community of Collaborate to Win. So yeah, it's huge because I think a lot of people are solo entrepreneurs and it gets kind of lonely,
It's
you
very
feel
lonely.
isolated.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, that's something I see commiserate in us as well as I don't see other designers as competitors. I see them as colleagues.
Yeah.
And we're in a situation where there's as many homes as you can, everyone. So there's a lot, there's work out there for everyone. And so if you aren't already thinking of your, as your other designers as colleagues and instead looking at them as competition, it's a disservice because it can be extremely lonely to toil away and to just do the trial and error stuff all by yourself.
Yeah, it's true.
It's a lot.
Okay, so let's see. What else do we have on here? All right, so I wrote that I feel like this is a fast pass to success. Like, this is the thing that bypasses the expensive mistakes and that, we kind of already talked about it already and it will just skyrocket anyone's business from where you are to like so much better than you ever thought.
I love that analogy of the fast pass. Like,
Yeah.
it's that same concept, right? It's like, all right, I got to get this done. I'm going to be as efficient and I'm going to make it joyful and I'm going to make it clean.
Mhm.
And I'm going to, do your research and invest in something that will give you a lot of return. And I can't wait. We have so many incredible testimonials from the people going through the program now, just talking about it's revolutionizing their businesses. It's their, profitability is going through the roof. They're not signing the wrong clients because so much of the standard is about having those full conversations about what it's going to take to complete this job right from the beginning.
Yeah.
So you don't end up getting into a business relationship with someone who doesn't really fully understand your business and understand the investment it's going to take to get there. So all of that's that catapult forward. That's that big jump to, with time, it was like, I should probably figure out how to budget for a job so that I can actually say the number it's going to take at the beginning instead of getting 3 months in and then running out of money, before we even get halfway done.
Right.
So it's all the trial and error and it's just it's a pass to the head of the class.
Very nice.
Yep.
Okay. So I noticed that there were bonus lessons from.
Of course, we had to give extras. So, all right. So I'm going to tell you about our bonuses. I, of course, have my cheat sheet as well. So we have 4 bonus modules and they're so much fun. We have Luann Nigera Jordan Gill, Peter Lang, and Nicole Heimer.
Mm.
And if you've been out and about in the design world, you are going to find that that is some incredible sales inspiration, some wonderful process, incredible accounting, and all about profit first. So like making sure that you're in this to pay yourself a reasonable wage. This is not a hobby, right?
Right.
And then Nicole, of course, is like branding 101, and it's all about, really speaking in your brand voice all the way through. So that is so much fun. Some wonderful industry hitters kind of coming to share the love.
Yeah, very nice. So is there anything else that I didn't ask that you would like to share?
So a couple of other things that we kind of layered in that we weren't sure we were going to do, and then we tried with the first group, and now we're committed to.
Mm.
And that is we do minimum of 3 community Zoom sessions where we're just live together. Sometimes it's Q&A, sometimes it's wine and commiserate. It's whatever the community needs. And so we do kind of a big poll, and then we have 3 of those where we just kind of react to what's happening. And then also the Facebook community. So we're creating sort of classes that go through the standard together. And then, and that way they can kind of say, again, we had people that jammed through it and watched every video and then went back and did the, the like implementation thing. We had people that are just like slow and steady. So it's really nice. They're checking in with each other. They're asking, is anybody else, I'm nervous to say my full design fee up front out loud to the client. And then everyone comes running and says, we were on a Zoom call the other day and it was like, hit send. Is is your computer in front of you? Which obviously we're on Zoom. Hit send, come on, we'll do it together. Like push the button. So
yeah. Cheerleaders.
Yeah, cheerleaders and commiserators and just the community side of it has become a big aha. And then I think going forward, once you've implemented the standard, and now you're working in an apples to apples business model, right? And so the standard graduates will be able to have conversations about their working rate or their metrics on how they do something or how something is worded. And they don't have to start with, well, do you do markup or do you do hourly plus, or are you flat fee and blah, 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 or are you doing a flat, markup, or are you doing the reasonable retail and down from there? Like, there's so much about our industry that when I speak to someone at a conference straight out and I don't have that apples to apples, I don't really know what we're talking about.
Coming from. Right. Yeah, I know. I mean, sometimes we get questions in our Facebook group and it's like, okay, this is, how much time do we have?
Right.
I'm going to write paragraphs on paragraphs because, you kind of have to start here and then understand these things because now you've got the whole picture. But yeah, so all of your group will kind of have that same language already. That's great.
Yeah, so that I think is going to be an interesting long-term effect, is that that being able to speak to each other on an apples-to-apples basis, and then talking about regions and the different the way the contractors work in different regions and the way that all these other things are happening. As having an incredible community, it just helps because they can share knowledge and everyone moves forward faster when we share.
Yeah, it's true. I still learn things. I mean, the industry is always changing. And then, sometimes we'll have like a newbie designer, but since she's so young, she's like all into the apps and things that I'm like, what? So it's really fun. Oh.
Yeah, I love all that idea sharing.
Yeah. Anything else you want to share?
I think just that there is a great demo module. It's a great way for any of your Collaborate to Win devotees to see what the standard looks like. And it gives a lot of value as well. It's our project process. It's super fun. All of the standard is delivered. There's video that kind of walks you through it. There's templates. So it's the actual, when we say, send an email every Friday to update your client, we're not just going to say send an email. We then give you our email. the one that we actually use. And
Nice.
so it's the actual verbiage templates data. So that demo module helps you understand exactly what this looks like and how detailed we get.
Nice.
Check that out.
Nice. Yes. Yeah. Because I mean, there's a big difference between saying do this and like providing this.
Well, and that was a big part of, like I said, I've always had coaches, I've always had mentors. I know how to, you want to educate yourself constantly, right? You always want to get that edge. And that's how you buy a course or do a thing or get a mentor, join a group. And I heard over and over and over again, now write down every single thing that every single task that it takes to do a design project. Okay, now look for oversights, look for efficiencies, look for what you can delegate, and that write down every single task that it takes to do a design project is not a small thing to do.
No.
It is a very complicated and very lengthy,
Right. And something you have to go back to because chances are you missed something.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah, many, many moons ago, we started documenting everything. And of course, being a business process consultant, I'm a process person. So it's 15 years in the making of just iterating and cleaning up and clarifying and more efficient and more direct. And
right. Because that's your superpower. And what an amazing superpower to have in an industry where there's so many different hats to wear in just the business, so many different things to know. It's constantly changing. And yeah, so amazing. I'm so excited. I can't wait to have a ton of Collaborate to Win members have gone through the standard and be helping each other and oh, well, Sandra says. That'll be a thing, right? Well, Sandra says.
Definitely. And same thing again, module 6, everyone needs to, you got to figure out how to get your deepest discount, your biggest bang for your buck. You've got to work a system that's set up for the big dogs, even if you're a brand new newbie. So again, kudos to that mindset and that sharing. It's what all of this is based on.
Yeah, thank you. And one thing I want to share is that all Collaborate to Win members are going to get a discount when they sign up. Actually, it's not a discount, it's a rebate. So when you sign up for Sandra's program through our link and you're a member, you wind up with $320 back from Collaborate to Win for signing up.
Awesome.
Yeah, because that's what we're all about. It's all about sharing and helping and pulling each other up. So yay, I'm so glad I got to talk to you today.
Same. The pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to sign off. So thank you guys for watching. And I'm Heather McManus from Collaborate to Win.
And I'm Sandra Funk from the Interior Design Standard. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.